you can tell when you're working a cow and you're going to do things to them, I won't even get into what we're doing. But anyway, things you can do to them, there's lots of things. And you get them in a stall, or you get them in a corral, or you get them in an enclosed place, I mean, depending on what you're trying to do. And you can tell when the cow is unhappy. It's stressed. It's worried. I saw a cow one time. It had a big thing on its eye. I don't know what you'd call it, a big swollen eye. And we needed to release the pus that was in there because it was too much pressure. And so anyway, the end of the story is it shot a long ways. It was gross. But anyway, that's not the point. Okay, so I'm inside this enclosure, right? And it's dark in the enclosure, and there was a window, except the window had, there was metal everywhere except where the window was, and the window had that green plexiglass stuff across it, and so it was solid, but light came through there. So there's one spot where there was light, right? We got this cow in here. This cow is stressed. Cow can't see, right? It's hurried. It's like a sheep without. It wasn't a sheep. It was a cow who was harassed and helpless, right? And it didn't know what was going on, and so it's blind. It can't really see except it sees that light. Okay. Now the window was up like a window would be in a building. It's up here, chest high. That cow jumps through the plexiglass plastic window. It's all light, and you could tell. We just get out of the way because that cow is going to hurt somebody, right? Jesus is looking across the crowd. He sees them as harassed and helpless. He could tell that as he look at them, they're under pressure. They're anxious. They're uptight. Just like an animal makes bad decisions when they're uptight and under pressure and stressed out, so do people. People make bad decisions. Some of our coping mechanisms are because we're under pressure. We're stressed. We need something to help us relax, something to help us calm down. We need some kind of distraction. So let's go to this thing that's not good for us. It's not good for our family. If our spouse finds out, won't be happy. But you know what? It helps me just to relax a little bit. It helps me just to decompress. It helps me to kind of forget, takes the pressure off just for a second or whatever we say. And then the enemy just comes in, and there's guilt and there's shame, and it just makes it worse. And we walk around feeling like we're losers and failures and blah, 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 blah. What if we actually started seeing people the way God saw? What if we recognize that our need for a coping mechanism just reminds us of our need for our Savior? Not to be saved, maybe. We've already saved. If you're not saved, let's start there. But if you know Christ, your Savior, you're already saved. But you need your Savior. You need peace that only He can provide. You need rest that only He can give. You need a sense of comfort that only comes from Him. Sometimes our distractions are just tools of the enemy.